Welcome to Noobs to Foodies.
So I am Trevor.
My name is Amelia, and today we're doing grilled cheese sandwiches with spicy Monterey Jack, because we're cool like that.
Yeah.
We're going to add herbs, and we're also going to have mashed potatoes, but that's made out of this, and peas.
And some peas here.
Yeah, we're going to microwave the peas, but that'll be off screen, so you won't have to deal with watching that.
Yeah.
So we're each going to make a sauce, and what we're going to do is we're going to add it to the cheese, to the actual bread itself, so we're going to like brush it on, and to the outside. We probably won't show you all of that, but we'll at least show you what sauces we're going to make. We're each going to make our own because we're making 2 sandwiches. I'm going to do an Italian, basically, Italian sauce. I'm going to have thyme, basil, oregano, lemon pepper, and parsley, which is basically Italian, at least I think it is. So, what are you using?
I'm gonna be using something that I always put together whenever I make burgers at home. A little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of cumin, and some parsley, and here's something we don't use that often, summer savory, which is actually an Acadian herb, as far as I know.
Yeah. It might be also like Italian or something as well. I don't know. Italians, you can let me know. Because it is very earthy, and Italian stuff is very earthy. So we have the measuring spoons here. I'm just going to move the cheese because we don't need it until we're done making sauces. We've got some measuring spoons here, so you guys can recreate this if you want to. A lot of the times we just eyeball things. We figured you might want to recreate it, so we wanted to make it easy for you. So I guess we'll just get started. I'm going to start with a fourth of my thyme, because thyme is strong, if you guys don't know. What are you going to start with?
Oh.
That is way too much time. Well, apparently I'm having a little bit more than I wanted. That's fine with me. Some got stuck on the outside of the spoon.
Well, I was advised before we started that the garlic and onion I should use a little bit more of, so I'm actually going to use a half a tablespoon. I think I'm going to start off with the onion, half a tablespoon.
I'm also going to do a fourth of basil. I'm basically going to do a fourth of everything. Let's be honest here. Mainly because I don't want my sandwich to be real gritty with herbs, seeing as how my herbs are kind of chunky. They're like with leaves and stuff. Plus, I don't want my sandwich to be too sandy textured.
Yeah, I guess the herbs I'm using are more
powdery.
Not quite as chunky.
Yeah,
so
they're not like
easier to work with.
Yeah, mine are like little leaves and stuff. So I'm also doing a fourth of oregano now. What did you just add? How much did you add?
So far I've added half a teaspoon of both garlic and onion.
Teaspoon? I thought you said tablespoon earlier.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
My bad.
Oh, I guess he's using the half a teaspoon, not half a tablespoon.
My apologies.
We'll go over at the end exactly how many measurements everything is when we're done making it. I'm actually going to go with twice the amount of the lemon pepper because I want mine to be just slightly more lemony. I really like citrusy fruits. Let me know. Do you like citrusy things? Lemon, lime? Or are you more into exotic kind of fruit flavors like grapefruit?
I need to grab this for a moment.
Yeah. I nearly dropped something there.
Oh, are you using... Oh, the spoon.
And my last herb.
Yeah, I also need a little bit of that as well.
Come on. Okay, that's more than I need. There. If I add too much more, it's going to be real too herby.
So the summer savory, I added a quarter teaspoon, and same with the parsley.
I'm going to add some more oil to mine. I underestimated how much oil I should have in it. I'll add some more to his. Sorry if I'm blocking the camera. Alright, now we'll just quickly go over what ratios we used of everything, and then we will come back once we are cooking the actual sandwiches. We'll assemble them off so you don't have to see it, because it's basic. It's just add this herb mixture to a bit of the cheese, brush on the outside, brush on the inside, go to the stove. So, I used a fourth of everything except for the lemon pepper and parsley. I used not quite an eighth, probably in between an eighth and a fourth of a teaspoon for that. And then I used 2/4 a teaspoon of this. 1/4 of oregano, or this was lemon pepper, by the way. 1/4 of oregano, 1/4 of basil, and 1/4 of thyme. So if you want to make my sauce, that's how you do that.
Yeah, and mine, as stated earlier, was 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, onion, and cumin, and just 1/4 of the summer savory and the parsley.
So there you go. We're gonna go assemble, and then we'll let you see what it's like when we start cooking.
Alright, so I've got my sandwich here. I've
Just
got,
gonna put it down on that side.
and there's already a bunch of oil on the inside and the
And
cheese.
that one side. And that one side that we showed you.
Yeah.
He's just gonna brush the other side now. Now we're starting at a 6 just so it can start to get a little bit browned on the outside, but that's only going to be for like literally a minute. And then we're going to go down to a 4. Now if you didn't want to do that, if you wanted to wait a little bit longer, you could just do a 4 and then just wait longer. It's probably going to be a 6 for a minute and then 4 for probably 3 to 5 minutes per side. You want to be a little bit careful if you do brush the outside with herbs because they can burn somewhat easily. So we will be back when his sandwich is done and mine's ready to go on. This is my sandwich that we have on here, and the toast, I just called it toast. Part of the bread's gonna fall off, and if you notice, some of my cheese came out. Apparently I have a bit more cheese than him. We're gonna cook, we've been cooking this for about a minute and a half on one side. I'm just gonna turn the timer off so it doesn't go off on the, well, the camera's on the camera. Timers don't go off on the camera. The camera does not have a timer. Now I'm gonna attempt to flip this. Mine's pretty puffy. So let's see if I can do this without too much cheese coming out.
Here, I can kind of give you a hand here holding.
Yeah. Ugh, it's sliding on me quite a bit and it's coming kind of loose.
From this corner, I might be able to get it flipped.
Here we go.
And carefully.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful with mine. I just got oil on my hands.
It happens.
Okay, I gotta get this all the way under. Okay, this is probably not interesting. We'll be back when both the sandwiches are done.
Alright, so we are done cooking the grilled cheeses.
They look great, don't they?
Yeah.
Later we'll do a little like reveal of what the inside looks like. Apparently I have a tiny bit more cheese than him. Oops, we meant to do 50-50. My bad. Oh well. Okay, so we said that we were going to use these Smiles for mashed potatoes. There's a couple reasons for that. One, we like them. And two, we don't have actual potatoes because they go bad around us quite quickly for some reason.
We don't use potatoes fast enough, so we wind up having to throw some out. So these are just a lot more convenient to have on hand.
If you don't know what these are, which you might, but if you don't, it's McCain, first of all. And what they basically are is, they're hash browns, technically speaking, I think. They're basically fried, crispy mashed potatoes. It says it right on it. So it's Smiles that have like a hash browny kind of texture to it on the outside and a mashed potato on the inside. So when you mash it up and break it up in the pan, it becomes mashed potatoes. But we're not just going to do that.
No.
We're also going to add onion, garlic, and probably a little pepper because there's no pepper in his sandwich and very little in mine. And then a tip I want to give you is don't just use only oil if you want to make this more mash and more creamy. Use a little bit of water. Technically you could use milk, but I find water is a little bit better just because it's less calories. But if you don't care about the calories, go ahead and use milk or cream if you want to. But we're going to use water. And then we'll show you what this is like when it's done. We'll even like demonstrate how creamy it is. Pick it up. We did already microwave our peas. Yes, you could boil or fry them, but microwaving is easy for us.
Yeah, it's convenient.
We used about 1.5 cups, 2 cups of cheese total, by the way. Since it was supposed to be 50-50, it's approximately 3/4 to a cup per sandwich. However, it didn't turn out that way, so it's probably more like 3/4 for his and a cup for mine. Or something like that.
Yeah, we didn't exactly measure exactly.
But it's around 1.5 to 2 cups, probably. Somewhere around there. Just so you're aware. And the ratio for water to oil, by the way, is 2:1, with the oil being lower. That way you get a much more creamy texture, if you're wondering. So we'll be back when these are done.
Alright, and we're back.
Yes, we just finished making the mashed potatoes. If you're wondering, we used 12 smiles. We didn't measure exactly how much mashed potato that makes, but I'm gonna guess about half a cup per person.
Yeah, that seems about
around
right.
half a cup. Just so you're aware, we cooked the sandwiches at a low medium, or a 3 to 4 if you have numbers, but a low medium.
Mm-hmm.
This was at a medium, or a 5 if you have numbers. And for the water, the way that I got this, it's a little gummy, but it's also very creamy as well as a little gummy. It's only a little gummy because I mixed it so much. We just seem to like slightly gummier textures. If you don't, just don't mix it as much. It also becomes slightly more crunchy and crispy that way if you don't mix it as much. So it's just a little bit of over mixing and the starch and gluten and whatnot, and it just getting a little bit tough. But we actually like that. So if you do, mix it a little bit more. Now the water, I add it in cycles, or in bits, sections, whatever you want to call it. That way it produces the most creamy texture in my opinion. So you go 3 tablespoons, then leave it for about 2 minutes before you add more. 4 tablespoons, leave it for another 2, and then 2 tablespoons if you want it extra creamy, but you can stop at 10. That's usually fine.
Yeah. All
no,
right.
sorry, I said that wrong. 3, and then 3, and then 4, and then 2 is what I did.
Yeah,
so it's 3,
12.
leave it for 2 minutes, 3, leave it for 2 minutes, 4, leave it for 2 minutes, take it off, or add another 2 if you want it extra creamy. And stir the whole time if you want it extra tough, or only every time you add water if you don't want it extra tough.
Alright, so these meals look rather amazing.
Now we're going to show you our, as Babish would put it, since I watch his channel. He did not ask me to say that, I just like his channel. We're going to show you a cross section. We already cut them for convenience.
So, oh geez, this is already starting to stick together. I just used a knife. It looks pretty thick.
It's a little set. We did these at first. You might say we should have done them last, but
Yeah, you can kind of see the oil dripping out.
Doesn't really matter in my opinion. I mean, if you really care, if you really care, next time we do something like this, we'll just do them last, and then they'll be gooey when we show them to you. Or we'll show them to you when they're going. Mine started sticking together earlier because of how much cheese I have.
Yeah, it looks like hers has more herbs on it as far as like...
A little bit of a pull there.
On the actual bread.
But that's only because mine had, like I said, the leafy, thicker herbs. So now we're going to readjust the camera. And I'm going to wipe my hands off. And then we are going to taste each other's sandwiches and our own sandwiches, of course. We'll be right back.
Alright, and so now we are back with the taste test. So I guess I am going to try mine first, and then I'll try hers, and then we'll go over to her, and she'll try hers, and then mine.
Now, just so you're aware, these are a bit oily since we did use oil. If you don't want to do that, then just use butter. But we don't have butter in the house because it goes bad before we use it. We prefer oil. Also, you could make French toast versions of these, but we didn't want to.
Oh my goodness, that reminds me just of like whenever I make a burger for myself, the herbs really come in and kick you in the tongue.
Except there's no meat in these. Although you could add meat. We might do a version of this with meat in the future.
Yeah. So, you want to pass me a piece of yours and I'll try it? Ooh, that is really good.
Alrighty then. I guess it's my turn then.
Oh wow, yeah, the lemon pepper really comes through in that.
Alrighty then. There's a piece of hair in mine. Yeah, we have a lot of cats. No, we have 2 cats. And if anyone who has cats, you know hair gets everywhere. Yeah, that is really good. The lemon does come through. But I can also taste the oregano and basil pretty well as well.
Alright, so she's going to try mine
I probably
now.
should use a little bit more parsley if you make it. You might want to use 1 more parsley than I did. Just because it's a little weak. I constantly forget how mild that is. Now his. Yeah, that's really good too. I mean, we both used herbs that we both like, so there's that.
Alright, do you want to try the potatoes
No.
before
I mean, we can eat the peas if you want us to. Here, there's a pea.
the peas, we did absolutely nothing to the peas. They're as plain can be right
because
now.
Usually what we do is we herb up 1 or 2 portions with like a lot of herbs, or we flavor, if you want to call it, with like a ton of herbs. So we always leave, usually, not always, but usually we leave our veggies plain or very mild.
Or it does, sometimes it's not even the veggies, like sometimes it'll just be 2 out of the 3 things, you know? Like,
yeah.
we switch it
But
up.
I find that most of the time it's the veggies. Also, I don't know if we mentioned, but the cheese we used was a spicy cheese. So he's going to try the potatoes and then I'll try them.
Oh my goodness, those are some really good potatoes, like... I don't care, I'm going in for seconds, you know? Change my mind.
Or don't. It's not like it matters. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm not going to go in for seconds because I'll just eat all of it off camera.
Yeah.
So, to reiterate, we did use spicy Monterey Jack. Don't know if I said spicy, but I'm saying it if I didn't. For the amount of oil for the potatoes, we used 1.5 teaspoons or a tablespoon. No, it was a tablespoon. Why did I say teaspoon? I'm brain dead. I need to drink more water. We used a tablespoon. I'll leave that in. That's funny. Okay.
Alright.
Let us know any suggestions you have down in the comments. If you have any ideas for recipes in the future, we may or may not do your ideas.
Yeah, and if you guys try to make this, let us know how it turned out in the comments.
Yeah, in the description below we have an Instagram and a Twitter, so you can go onto the Twitter and, I don't know, tag our channel and let us know what you think if you make it yourself. Or if you make a version, if you make a slightly different version, then you can do that as well.
Alright, so thank you for joining us on Noobs to Foodies. I really hope you guys join us again next time. And until then, bon appetit.
Yes, thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Remember, we're on Twitter and Instagram.